Hey everybody, this is Matt Breckwald. I am your instructor for Introduction to Policing this semester, and just wanted to make a quick video to introduce myself to you and introduce the class to you. And if you're wondering where I'm sitting right now, I'm actually sitting in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida. I've actually been here for the last 7 days. Tomorrow will make 8, and then I'll be flying back to Boise and back out to my farm in Cuna. But it's a long story, but I'm no longer a police officer. I'm now an entrepreneur, but I still love to teach, and I still love to teach Introduction to Policing. And CWI is gracious enough to allow me to do that. So I get to stay connected and stay involved and stay in the classroom, at least the virtual classroom, and I really do enjoy that. But my entrepreneurial endeavors have me in Florida I've been here for the last week. And honestly, the business part was about 5 days, but I was able to spend about 2 of those days, maybe 3, on a vacation with my family. Then they flew back home, and I stayed here, and I have been working. And I don't know if you've ever been to Florida before, but it is a lot different than Southwest Idaho. A lot different than anywhere in Idaho, but it's been pretty cool. Lots of thunderstorms, which I really like, and different stuff like alligators. Don't see those in Idaho too much, so it's been pretty interesting. Well, anyway, everybody, I want to introduce you to the course, introduce you to me. So, again, my name is Matt Breckwald. Now, here is my experience. Here's why I teach this course. So I spent 15 years of my life as a police officer. I started off in California as a police officer way back in 1996. I worked for the Tracy Police Department. Tracy is about an hour east of San Francisco, right when you drop into the San Joaquin Valley of California. So a very agricultural region, but tons of people there now for sure. So I started my career there in Tracy. My goal was to be a sheriff's deputy where I grew up, and that is Stanislaus County in the Central Valley. And Modesto would be the main city in Stanislaus County, or the county seat. And so ultimately I transferred from Tracy PD after about 2 years over to Stanislaus County and fulfilled my dream of being a deputy in the sheriff's department where I grew up. And after about a year I went, oops, that was the wrong move. And by then I had gotten married. My wife was from Idaho. I had gone to college up in Montana at Montana State, and I had done an internship in Idaho during that time and thought, Idaho's pretty nice. And we decided to move up here to Idaho and be by her family rather than stay in California and be by my family. And that's how I wound up in Idaho, and we have been here ever since 1999. Anyway, I wound up going to work for the Boise Police Department. Actually, prior to going to work for the Boise Police Department, I went to work for Ada County Juvenile Court, and I also worked for Albertsons in their corporate office doing corporate security. So when we first got to Boise, I went to work for Albertsons doing corporate security. Then I got hired as a juvenile probation officer for Ada County Juvenile Court, did that for about a year, and then I was hired by the Boise Police Department, and I was there for about the next 12 years after that. And during my time with Boise PD, I was a patrol officer, of course. Everybody starts in patrol, at least in a municipal police department. We'll talk about that later this semester. So I was a patrol officer. Then I became a school resource officer at Bora High School. By far the best job I've ever had in my life when it comes to having a job. I went from that to being a special victims unit detective, where I investigated sexual assault, domestic violence, and child physical and sexual abuse. I did that for about 5 years. Then I went back to patrol, became a field training officer, started training new officers, and then promoted to sergeant and was a patrol sergeant when ultimately I left the police department in 2013. And like I mentioned before, I had started a business. The business kind of took off. I'd been doing police work for about 15 years. And I had just kind of grown out of it a little bit. When I went into it, I wanted to go be a police officer. I wanted to try that out. And I wound up staying for 15 years, but ultimately some other interests in agriculture won out. And so I left, started my own business in agriculture, bought a farm, and that's what I've been doing ever since, working for myself. So, like I said, this is my only touch back into policing, back into law enforcement, but I really do enjoy teaching, and so that's why I want to stay involved in this way. So that's kind of my experience. And if any of those jobs interest you, and by the way, as we go through this semester, I'm going to be talking about all sorts of different jobs in criminal justice, things that you might not be thinking about, that aren't traditional, like being a police officer or working in a jail, working in a prison, or something like that. We'll be talking about other support type positions that are very, very possible to get into, either as a stepping stone into traditional policing work or as a way to work in policing or in criminal justice without putting on the badge and the gun. Things like being a community service officer, a victim witness coordinator, crime prevention, things like that. We'll be talking all about that. Matter of fact, our signature assignment, our year-end project this year, is going to deal with something called crime prevention through environmental design, which is something that I got exposed to in law enforcement. I got very interested in it when I was a school resource officer, and I did my master's degree at Boise State in criminal justice, and my final project was on crime prevention through environmental design in schools, because I was a school resource officer while I was getting that master's degree, and I got really interested in that, and that's a whole career field in and of itself. And so you're going to get a real practical exercise in doing that at the end of the semester. So there's a lot of options for you, and I'm very excited for all of you for what you're doing. If you look at this is our Blackboard page, and if you look over at the faculty information, you'll see a picture of me and my contact information. But then there's an about me part that I wrote and a criminal justice experience. And if you read this whole thing, it's quite long, but I get pretty excited about this stuff. Oh my goodness, it's really long. But I wrap it up here at the end with a topic heading that says how a degree changed my life. And I really hope you'll read that. I'm very, very excited for all of you, what you're doing right now. I know you're probably taking classes so you can get a degree and get the job you want or get a better job or something like that. But you're doing so much more than that right now, and stuff that you're going to realize later in life that you're doing right now that it's setting you up for. So please read that, because I want you to know what my story was. And my story was that for the longest time, I didn't think I was going to graduate college. Now, I went on, I got my master's degree. Now I teach college, and you can't imagine how big a stretch that is. Back when I was 19, 20, 21 years old, I would have never thought that, and nobody else would have either. College is a different story when you own a house and you're working full time and things like that. You get a little bit more serious about it than you do when you're 19 or 20. But there was a significant doubt in my mind that I was ever going to get that initial bachelor's degree. I ultimately did, and that was a huge moment in my life, one of the biggest moments in my life to make that happen. So I don't want anybody to think that just because I'm teaching the course that I'm some sort of, genius or gifted student. I'm not. I was a struggling student in college, and it was just grit and determination that ultimately led to me getting that degree. But it was a big life changer. It's made a huge difference in my life, and I'm excited for all of you for what's to come for you as well. Well, hey, this is our Blackboard shell. Just want to point a couple things out. So we're on the announcements page. This is what you will, every time you log on, you're going to log on to this announcements page, and then you're going to see this is going to be the main way I'm communicating with you. Will be through these announcements. So check this every day or every time you log on at least. Now, there's nothing up there right now except for instructions on your rubric for your discussion boards, and I'll go through that a little bit in our syllabus video. Under faculty information, again, you just saw that. There's a picture of me and my family, and all my contact information. Here is my telephone number. Please feel free to call me or text me whenever you want, and I literally mean whenever. If I'm awake and I'm available, I will answer the phone or I will return the text. And if I don't want to be disturbed or I'm sleeping, I will have my phone on silent. I will have it facing down so the light doesn't bother me. You don't have to worry about it at all. It is my responsibility to make sure I'm not disturbed by that phone. I know some of you are probably working night shift, and if you have a thought that comes up at 3 in the morning, you're studying or doing whatever at 3 a.m. or whatever it may be, and you have a thought that comes up, and you want to text me really quick or you want to call me and ask me that question before it's no longer fresh in your mind, go ahead and do it. That's totally fine. You're not going to bother me. Again, that's my responsibility. So anytime you want, that is not a problem. And honestly, students do not take enough advantage of their instructors as a resource for them, so I really hope that you will. I hope that you will. So anyway, here's all my contact information. read through that as we go through. The syllabus is right here. Our schedule is on the syllabus. I'm going to do a separate video on the syllabus because you have a syllabus quiz this week, so we'll go through that. But here's our syllabus. You can click on this button to make it get bigger and populate the entire screen. That should work. And so again, my contact information is on there. Most important to you on the syllabus is here's your point totals and all of that. We'll get to that on the syllabus video, but there's a schedule of what we're doing every week, and this is where you'll follow that. So that's up there for you. And let's see, assignments. So every week you are going to go to assignments, and here's going to be your what we call your deliverables. So this is week number 1. This week is going to be the introduction, and we're going to be talking about the history of policing. So what are you going to have to do this week? Well, you're going to have to complete your syllabus quiz right here. You're going to have to watch the video lecture that I recorded for you. You're going to have to read chapter 1, and then you're going to have to complete the unit exam and complete the discussion board. That is what your deliverables are. That's what you have to do this week. There'll be a new one of these available or opened up to you each and every week. So that's what you have to do this week. The due dates will be listed on all of those assignments. If you click in here, right now that says there's no content to display, but I will be populating that. I will be putting up a video lecture here soon, and the quiz, all of that will be in there soon. But anyway, that's what you do every week. So please do this. Some of you are a lot better at computers and Blackboard than me. So if you are digging through this Blackboard site and you see an assignment on there that you can complete, it's open, you're able to do it right now, make sure it's listed in here for this week before you do it. If you find an assignment and it's not listed here, send me an email and ask me about it, because maybe for some reason I didn't find it, I didn't clean it out, it's still sitting there, but I'm not actually going to have you do it this semester. That happens sometimes. So don't just do an assignment. And I appreciate the effort. I appreciate everybody being really aggressive and getting on that. But if you find something that you don't see in here, then please contact me first before you do it, because I want to make sure you're not doing work that you're not going to get credit for. I feel bad if that happens, but you're not going to get credit for it because nobody else is going to have that opportunity. So don't do that. Contact me first. Your discussion boards are going to be here. You're going to do one every week. There's nothing in here right now, but like I said, that'll be populated very soon. But you're going to be doing one discussion board every week. I want to really stress something to you on these discussion boards. There is a rubric for your discussion boards. Please go through that rubric and please follow it, okay? You are required to do a good initial post, something with some good substance, something that demonstrates you're learning something in the class, and even something that demonstrates that you've maybe done some outside research or something like that. That's about half your grade. But the point of the discussion board is, since this is an online course, and since we don't get to sit down and kind of feed off of each other in a classroom environment every week, this is where we kind of try and simulate that. So it's very important that you participate on the discussion board by interacting with your fellow students. It is not good enough to just go through the motions. If all you do on your discussion board when it comes to contacting or interacting with your classmates is say good job or great post or something like that, you're going to get 0 points for that half of your assignment. As a matter of fact, it's weighted a little bit more heavy on class participation there, because that's really what the point of the discussion board is. So make sure that you are adding to the discussion. If you ever have any questions about how to add to the discussion or how to phrase something, just contact me. Just call me, text me, email me, whatever you want to do. Please do that, and I would be happy to help you. But if you don't contact me and you don't follow through, that's on you, and you're going to get a horrible grade on your discussion boards. And we're doing 15 of those. So they're going to make up a big part of your grade this semester. So please, I want you to, when you're responding to other students, demonstrate something you've learned in class that can add to the discussion. You can't just say good job or great post. You're not going to get any points for that. You're going to get 0 for that. So you might as well, if that's all you're going to write, you might as well not even write it, because you're not going to get any points for that. So please do that, and please don't hesitate to contact me. I want you to get great grades, but this is college now, so the emphasis is on you. take advantage of the resources that are available to you, and for you to make sure you're doing it right. I'm not going to hold your hand through it, but I will help you as much as you like. Just call me, email me, text me, whatever it may be. So on those discussion boards. On the My Grades, if you look at this here, if you click on this, you'll see your discussion boards are listed. You can't open any of them right now, but you can always go to My Grades and click on View Rubric. I'm going to have a separate video up that shows you how to find your rubric through the assignment as well. But those rubrics are always right there, and they're available for you, okay? So go through this and follow these for the discussion board. I really want you to do that work and do a good job there. We're going to have a signature assignment at the end of the semester. It is due the Tuesday of finals week, okay, by midnight, the Tuesday of finals week. The reason I'm emphasizing this right now, the reason I want you to put this on your calendar right now, is because most of your assignments are going to be due by midnight on Sunday night of every week. But your signature assignment is going to be due on December 10th by midnight. Okay, that's the Tuesday of finals week. I'm going to open it up to you in early November, so you're going to have well over a month to work on it. It's not a hard assignment. Matter of fact, I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool, but that's me. But it'll be open to you for well over a month, and it's really not that difficult. I want you to be able to apply some concepts that I'm going to teach you. So, with that said, make sure it's done by then. Also, I'm going to accept rough drafts. I will review your rough drafts on this assignment and give you feedback, but you're going to have to turn those rough drafts in. I think it's by the Wednesday before the due date, if I remember right, but I will post that. Okay, so there's going to be a due date or a deadline on those rough drafts, and after that I won't review them because you didn't have them in to me and give me enough time to do that and give you proper feedback. But that's something I want to stress, I want you to know up front, is to make sure and to do that and to have that done by that deadline, because that deadline is going to be just a little bit different during finals week. Now with that said, I'm giving you a test every week on the material that we've just covered, and I'm not giving you a final exam. Your signature assignment is going to substitute for your final exam. So there will be no final in this class, but there will be that signature assignment. So you're going to have your weekly tests, your discussion boards, and your signature assignment, and then you're going to have a syllabus quiz that's due this week. The syllabus quiz is there for you to learn the syllabus. So make sure you've read over and understand the syllabus. You can do it as many times as you want until you get that grade up to 100%. I encourage you to do so, but there is a due date. It's due by Sunday night at midnight, so make sure you get it done this week. With that said, your discussion boards, that initial post, I would love that turned in by Wednesday of the week. Now, this is an asynchronous online class. This is one of these things where this is what I want, but it's really up to you, and it's really up to you being a team player for the rest of your classmates. Because part of that grade is dependent on interaction with your classmates, if nobody turns in their initial post till Sunday afternoon, then nobody can interact with classmates and go through and have discussion until Sunday afternoon. And that is not fair to your classmates who want to get their work done sooner in the week. So I want all those initial posts turned in by Wednesday. You can do your follow-up conversation, your responses to other students throughout the rest of the week, but I want your initial post posted and put up by Wednesday. Here is my advice to you. Do not wait until Sunday night to start doing stuff. You're going to miss deadlines, you're going to not get credit, you're going to do a lousy job, and you're going to get graded down. Sunday night it should not be for doing homework in this class, because that is your due date. That's your deadline that night. Okay? I get it, but honestly, the week ends on Friday anyway. For me to give you until Sunday night is almost giving you an extension every week, so don't wait until Sunday evening to do your quizzes, to do your discussion boards and all of that. It's going to show, and you're going to get graded down on that. Okay, so please don't wait to do that. All right, everybody. Well, I think this is going to be a really fun semester. My hope is to interact with you every week through video, at the very least a written announcement. But I want you to use me as a resource. Anything you want to know, whether it's about becoming a police officer, whether it's about any other careers in the field, whether it's being in the federal law enforcement, FBI, whatever that may be, or whatever route you want to go, or whatever reason you're getting involved in criminal justice. I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to help you out. So have a great semester, everybody. Please use me as a resource, and I look forward to seeing your great work.